All right, let's get some perspective on the markets. Rajat Rajkaria, Director for Motilal Oswal Securities, is joining this morning. Rajat, thanks for taking time out and talking to us. Let's really start off by talking about the way the earnings season has actually gone by, because what kind of sense do you actually pick up? Is this probably the fact that we've seen lesser downgrades this time around? What's the outlook and what did you make of the earnings season?
Hi, good morning. Well, this earnings season has been really terrible, because I think you have seen the lowest sales growth now almost in a decade this quarter, adjusting for those 4 quarters of the global crisis. The sales growth this quarter for corporate India would just be about 3-4%. The profit growth would just be about 0. That's what we had projected, and that's what the numbers also seems to be suggesting now, that aggregate earnings growth for corporate India this quarter would be 0. Could have been marginally negative also, and the downgrades have been quite high this quarter. In fact, I think by the time we close this earnings season, which is today, the final aggregate numbers would basically suggest an full year earnings growth of just about 6-7%. So whatever optimism a quarter back was there, that you may see some recovery of growth to more like 10-12%, that number will get moderated to 6-7% now.
So, Rajan, what I understand from what you're actually saying is there could be a possibility that the full year target, as far as the Sensex and Nifty is concerned, could see some kind of downgrades, looking at the way valuations could actually pan out from here?
No, what I'm suggesting is that at the end of this earnings season, the full year Sensex EPS number will be lower than what it was at the beginning of this earnings season. So the last 1.5 months would have led to a more aggregate downgrade in the Sensex earnings compared to what we were building at the beginning of the season.
Having said that, Rajat, I totally get where the pessimism really stems from. But I was just wondering, the fag end of the season, we're supposed to see these big shocks and big disappointments. But looking at Tata Steel, looking at Hindalco, looking at how most of the OMCs have done much better, their losses have been curtailed. Even the SBI reaction, I was just curious, what did you think of SBI reaction? Gross NP at 5.5%, stock ended down only 4-5%. So is this really the worst? I'm trying to ask you if the worst is over from the earnings standpoint.
Well, this was definitely the worst if you compare with the historic quarters. But whether this was the worst considering the coming quarters, I really can't conclude that, because if you look at the heavy numbers that came over the last 4-5 days, you yesterday had M&M where the numbers at the operating level were lower than expectations. We have actually cut down our estimates. You saw SBI where the numbers disappointed and the whole street has cut down their numbers. You saw ONGC where, there were some adjustments on pensions, but still the reported numbers looked lower. As far as the OMCs are concerned, their numbers always get different depending upon how the subsidy sharing pans out. But yes, Tata Steel was an okay number, but even within Hindalco, you had Novelis which disappointed and the standalone numbers which did well. So I think the earnings, the last 1 week of heavy earnings, heavy companies reporting numbers also have contributed to their share of downgrade in this earnings cycle.
Ask you this, what have been the top 1 or 2 downgrades for you this season, stocks which you've completely gone down on in terms of estimates, and which have been the top upgrades? I'm guessing IT comes somewhere in between the upgrades?
Well, IT of course has seen an upgrade, because they have seen upgrade on both business front and the currency front, and that is pretty well reflected into the way the stocks are also doing. Another big upgrade for us has been on Idea, where again I think the optimism is now building up very well as far as the business recovery is concerned. Another very good upgrade on the numbers and even on the rating for us has been Sun Pharma, where I think they reported pretty good numbers this quarter. So I think the upgrades have largely centered around technology, pharma, specific consumer names. For example, Marico, yesterday we upgraded the stock, upgraded the numbers because those numbers held out very well. As far as the downgrades are concerned, I think, as I mentioned, SBI saw a reasonably good downgrade. We saw some downgrades happening in the four-wheelers also, likes of Maruti, M&M, both of them saw some downgrade into the estimates. I think also seen some downgrade in the capital good companies. We had pretty terrible numbers coming from companies like BHEL, etc. So even there, the numbers saw a reasonably good downgrade. So I think the cycle of upgrade and downgrade is pretty well split between sectors right now, where export-oriented models are continuing to do well. I just wanted to bring one more sector. Consumer has been another sector where this quarter the trend has been very, very mixed. We have seen our rating getting lowered on ITC. We have downgraded our rating on Lever after cutting the numbers further, and same has been the trend with many other consumer, with few exceptions like Marico, as I discussed.
Sure, just hold that thought. We'll break all those sectors into just and get a detailed discussion. Just a couple of seconds. Let's just address the market opening and the way stocks are actually opening up right now. Just 2 to 3 seconds left for the opening moves to come in. Tata Steel definitely the big stock to watch out for today on the back of the earnings that actually came in post-market hours yesterday. So let's see how the opening is. 70 to 60 odd points higher is what we've seen on the index in terms of the opening move. But take a look at Tata Steel, 9% gain coming in on that particular counter. That's the top gain as what we've actually seen. 7.5% gain coming in as far as Tata Steel is concerned right now is the kind of performance that we're actually picking up. That's the big mover in early trade is what we're tracking. Hindalco, 0.5% gain on that one. Cipla, Coal India, some of the other gainers on street right now. Hero Moto up by 0.1%. Sterlite's up by 1% as well. Tata Motors, the other stock that was on the radar yesterday, almost a 4% decent gain coming in for Tata Motors in morning trade is what we're actually seeing so far. L&T is a margin lower there. JSPL 2.6% higher. Quick mention on the banking counters. ICICI Bank 1% up more on that one. HDFC Bank 0.3% lower. You have SBI that's marginally higher is what we're seeing right now. Just a quick mention on BHEL and Bajaj Auto. BHEL is up by around about 0.7%. Bajaj Auto up by around about 1.6% is what we're seeing so far. Apart from that, you have Wipro from the IT pack also up by 1%, but Infy is actually trading lower by 0.5%, and TCS is 0.2% higher. Oil and gas majors, ONGC up 0.5%, Reliance Industries pretty flat is what we're seeing. Alright, let's just flip across and see what's happening on the Nifty as well. And the kind of moves that we're picking up on the index, extremely flat, 5699, 5700 is the kind of level that we're tracking. 26 stocks gaining, 24 stocks losing out. Pretty evenly divided as far as gainers and losers are concerned on the index there. Individual movers, Tata Steel 6.8% higher, Tata Motors 3% gain coming in. BPCL also came up with their earnings. That one's up 2.3%. Kane and JSPL are some of the other movers on the Nifty. In terms of losers, Grasim's losing up by 1.4, Dr. Reddy's, ITC, Asian Paints and Sun Pharma. So a whole host of defensive stocks that had seen some kind of support over the last couple of days are just losing out a little bit right now. Sun Pharma also down by almost 1% or so is what we're tracking. Nifty at around about 5705, just 6 odd points higher should be is what we're tracking so far.
The massive slide on financial technologies has resumed. There's a 30% drop on financial tech this morning. We've heard the commentary from the Brokers Association. They're all very disappointed, and comments made by Mr. Motilal Oswal himself that this entire group will have to fold up if they don't sort out the NSCL mess. 30% drop there, 5% drop on MCX India as well. So we're back to square one on both of these stocks. But to pick some of the silver linings, Escorts, a great surge on the profits, big jump up, over 100% rise. So there's a 10% move up on the stock over there. EduComp has gone into a loss. We're looking at a 0.25% decline on the stock. Everon, the board is meeting to try and figure out what to do with their massive debt. There's a debt recast plan that's in the works, 1% down right now on the stock. Most of your jewelry stocks are not really reacting that much. This, of course, was news that came in during market hours on the import duty hike on gold. What else do we have? GMR, very disappointing. After GVK showing so much of promise this quarter, for GMR, the loss is humongous. It's over 300 crores, if I remember the numbers correctly. Some more upgrades coming in from Marico. Let's check if the stock is still holding up in this morning's action. Marico, in fact, it is an upgrade. I'm just looking at the terminal at Motilal Oswal, which has been raised to a buy for the time being. So these are some of the stocks that are in the news. Tech Mahindra's price target has been raised at a couple of brokerages. Stock was up yesterday, continues to be higher this morning as well. Let's take a look at Voltas. Profits are down 48% year on year. Another disappointment from the capital goods space. Look at that stock, 5% down. Mixed bag, really, hits and misses equally distributed this morning. Tata Steel as usual, stock of the opening 8% up on that, as we can see things sort of play out over there. Rajat, you just mentioned consumer, so I really want to break this down. What really are you picking right now? Because we know within the pillars of the market, it's FMCG stocks, pharma stocks, tech stocks, and I don't know whether banks people are still willing to hold on to or not right now. So on consumers, what's your advice after this earnings season?
Well, I think on consumer you have to be lot more stock specific. That big cover trade where on a macro basis big allocation could have been made to consumer to hide into many of these names. That trade has played out very well. But if you start looking at individual names, you are seeing moderation happening in growth, pressure coming on the margins, and valuations are at their lifetime highs. Of course, we have seen 10-15% correction in many of the consumer names. You had a pretty disappointing quarter from Asian Paints. I think you had a subdued quarter from Godrej Consumer. We had numbers which didn't look exciting at many other names. As I mentioned, we have lowered our ratings on several of the companies. But yes, there are specific stocks within the consumer play which one can continue to be in. Marico is one name that I mentioned. That stock over the last 1 year has really not created any absolute performance, while the earnings CAGR will remain at 18-19%, one of the highest in our universe of consumer companies. Britannia is something which has been doing very well. I think last 2-3 quarters have been a very strong recovery for them, and that is why this stock will continue to trend well. Dabur is something where numbers have been holding on well. Stock also has done quite reasonably well, but I think if within the expensive ones you still want to bet upon, then bet upon something where the earnings growth are still more resilient compared to some of the big ones where the earnings moderation is very significant for the consumer pack.
Rajat, the other thing as far as markets are concerned is this whole divergence trend that we are actually been picking up. Nifty, for an instance, is just down 4 to 5% on a year-to-date basis, but the mid-caps have been hammered out of shape. You're talking almost on the index level, at least a cut of around about 20-25%. In your own thought, Rajat, are there any mid-caps, looking at the way earnings season actually panned out? You spoke about the consumption space, but on the overall basis, any mid-caps that are still looking at as far as value buys are concerned, or any value that's emerging? Because that space has really cracked over the last, 6 to 7 months.
Well, yes, I think basically we have many of the companies in the mid-cap, and by mid-cap I'm basically referring to market caps between 10 to 20,000 crores. Because I think some of these tier 1 mid-caps which have corrected significantly over the last 6-8 months looks quite good. Some of the names that we just mentioned, whether be it like Tech Mahindra, Marico, some of the private sector banks likes of Yes Bank, names like IDFC, I think many of these names have corrected very, very well from their recent highs. Well, they are not like a pure mid-cap kind of a name. Some of them have pretty high profits when you look at the way they are reporting their numbers. But I think at least in this round, investors will be a lot more comfortable buying some of these quality mid-caps, some of these quality tier 1 mid-caps, where the market caps are now growing, but the profits are growing even faster. And some of these names, valuations are very, very attractive. Each of the names, whether be it an IDFC, be it a Yes Bank, Tech Mahindra, Marico, and some of the cement names also. For example, Shree Cement, which has also seen now after a long time seen some correction. I think the way they have modeled their business in both cement and power gives you enough comfort on the execution that they will do over the next 2-3 years. And whenever you see a cyclical recovery into the cement business, this is one stock which can generate significant cash flows, which will get reflected into the outperformance of the stock. So again, we would advise that within the mid-cap, again focus on businesses which are still doing well, because we have no clue right now on when this recovery at the macro level is going to happen. More importantly, we have to first find out where does the bottoming out on this down cycle on almost all the parameters happen. We just may be at least 1 to 2 quarters further away from that.
Rajat, the other interesting part of the last couple of minutes, we've been talking about a whole bunch of sectors, but being at Motilal Oswal itself, you talk to a lot of the biggest fund managers, both domestically and internationally. What's the mood there? Because the fund flows have also turned a little bit jittery over the last couple of months. Give us a sense as to what the foreign community is actually making of the Indian markets right now.
Well, I think investors are very clear that there are two very specific issues in India. First is, of course, now as you move closer and closer to the elections, you will start seeing both corporate India and the investment community waiting to see the outcome of that event, because that's going to be a very, very big event to decide the next 5-year course of growth into the system. And second, people have somewhat got little clueless on this continued weakness into the currency, because that's been puzzling everyone. You have seen 3 rounds of tightening measures announced by RBI, but as we speak today, currency is at a new low. The volatility between the intraday movements have not subsided, but what it has done, it has just pushed up your short-term rates to a level where, while you saw a June month IIP growth as at -2, you don't have confidence whether the next coming months will see any positive tick into the IIP number. I think that the people are right now unclear that after seeing a 5% GDP growth in FY13, will FY14 be at 5 or could it be lower also? And incrementally the views turning out is that FY14 would be lower than the 5% growth of FY13. And that's why people want to see through the year, want to see where does this whole currency game stops, and then you have an election at the end of the year. So I think a lot of events specific to India, that's why you are not seeing any confidence returning into the market. There are some trading rallies of risk on, risk off, but generally the trend is weak. Couple of sectors like IT, pharma, specific consumer bets are doing well, but on an aggregate, most of the sectors are seeing significant price correction or time correction.
Okay, I was just taking a look at the GMR numbers. It's so disappointing when you see companies like this. It's a complete disaster out there. Sequentially, their power business, the losses continue, huge fuel expenses. There's pressure coming in from every front. Revenues themselves are down on the airports business. Forget about profits. Profits obviously are lower. And of course, the stock is down. Anyway, Rajat, that brings me to the last question. Is there any hope in sight for the cyclical trade at all right now? Should you be looking at cyclical stocks at all, even though valuations are so cheap? And then finally, where does it leave us? I know you'll be compiling your earnings report shortly in the next 2-3 days. Would you be looking at an index target cut?
Well, we don't make an index target on a quarterly basis. We do an index EPS, and as I mentioned that the full year numbers now has now come to a more realistic level of about 6-7% growth for the year. That is one. Secondly, as far as the positives are concerned, I think there are 3 positives which one should not forget. First, at least we have the last 2 months of trade deficit number which have started showing meaningful improvement. The problem for us right now is the huge debt outflows. We have seen almost $10 billion of debt outflows in the last 2 months. In a country like India, if you write off check $10 billion of check, our currency will behave the way it is behaving. But the fundamental improvement on the trade deficit should help to restore some stability on the currency going forward. That's one. Secondly, I think the monsoon at least will help to bring the CPI and the primary part of the WPI down. That creates some space on the policy front. And the third is that as you move towards the second half, the base will start looking little better for the growth, right? So I think these are the 3 positives that I look at it. And most importantly, I think the most important positive from investors' point of view is valuations. While at the index level, the valuations may still look, fairly at the long-term average of 13 to 14 times, a larger component of the index is now trading at almost their 7 to 10 year low valuations.
Sure.
And valuations is what helps you always make the most money when you buy them at the bottom.
All right, Rajat, we leave it there. Thanks so much for joining in this morning and getting us your perspective as far as how earnings have panned out and what the outlook looks like for the markets going forward from here. So that's the kind of setup and the kind of outlook that we're looking at. 0.3% gain coming in on the index so far.
So you take heart from what Rajat said. You try and buy cheap. You hope you make money. Be patient. It's all about, I guess, long-term value investing.
Right, on that note, to wrap on this session of First Trade, stay tuned. In Business coming up in just 2 minutes.
First Trades, presented by BSC, Investors Protection.